Welcome back to the mat. If you're flowing straight through or if you're stepping on the mat for the first time, go ahead and make your way to downward facing dog. Pulling up through your palms into your shoulders, engaging your lats, core is engaged, hips pointed up towards the ceiling, heels can be lifted, knees bent. Coming back to your breath or finding it if you're just stepping on the mat. Spinning almost an outward spiral to your thighs and seeing how that feels, and then spinning them in, seeing how that feels. On your next inhale, look up between your hands, step your left foot up, spinning your right foot down so the edge of your right foot is firmly planted, even if you need to walk it in a little bit. Inhale, come up, bringing your forearm to your thigh. Knee over ankle, right hip opening up. So you're opening up through the whole right side, arm comes up. You can look up, you can look down. Finding a stable base through your feet. And using your core to keep your torso lifted up. So even if you're up here, that's fine. But you don't want to be collapsed down into here. Feeling the stretch through your right side, opening up through your rib cage. If you want to go down further, by dropping your hand behind your foot, go ahead. See how that feels. If it's not available to you, that's fine too. On your next exhale, spin your right foot up, the right hand comes down, straightening the front leg, pulling in your right foot slightly, angling it towards the front right corner of your mat, and leveling your hips where you pull your left hip up and bring your right hip, closing it down towards the mat and bringing it down. Hands come to shin, flat back, pyramid pose. Shoulders away from your ears. Legs are working. You can have a slight bend in the front knee if you need to take some of the tension off your hamstrings. You want to exhale, hinging at the hips and draping your torso over the front leg. You can also have blocks right here to bring the floor to you. Finding that edge, the fine line between the work in this pose and being able to relax into the stretch. And one more exhale. Inhale, look up, shift your weight to the left foot. Right leg comes up. And you're going to bring your toes to the outside of the left foot. We're going to make our way into eagle. So you can stay here. This is the first part. Knees come to the midline, hugging everything in. Left arm comes underneath, the right hugging, basically giving yourself a hug. But drop your shoulders and engage your lats like you do in downward facing dog, and squeeze through your armpits, stimulating your lymph system. Exhale, sink your hips down. If this feels stable, try picking your toes up and tucking the top of your foot behind your calf, keeping your knees as close to the midline as you can. And then try bringing the backs of your hands together, raising your elbows and sinking down. Similar to chair pose, just with some twist. Finding a focus point that's not moving. And then if that feels stable, tuck your foot all the way around so it comes out on the other side of your calf. And bring the palms of your hands together, raising your shoulder or raising your elbows, shoulder height. And exhale, relax into it. Inhale, come up. You might fall in and out of that a couple times, that's totally fine. Shift the weight to your right foot. Shake out your left. And then make your way back to downward facing dog by going to forward fold and either stepping straight back to it or taking a vinyasa, shifting through chaturanga, upward facing dog or cobra. Exhale into downward facing dog. Taking a breath. Inhaling, right foot forward. Left foot spins down, set the base for extended side angle. Knee over ankle. Forearm to thigh. Open opening up through the left side. Arm reaches towards the ceiling. And almost tuck your this right hip in so you're pressed flat against a wall. Maintaining the breath. These poses are requiring slightly more work from you. Feel free to slow it down, back it off, push it a little bit harder. Exhaling, spinning down with the left hand, the right or left foot up, bringing it in for pyramid pose on this side. Left hip closes down, right leg pulls up into the hip. Your heel can come off the mat slightly if you want. Hands to shin. Exhaling and hinging at the hips, coming down. Hands on either side of your foot, bending your knees slightly if you need to, just a micro bend. Staying with the breath. And constantly finding that adjustment where you're pulling your right hip up, left hip down. Makes it a little spicy. Shifting your weight to your right foot, inhaling, come up. Eagle on this side, left toes come around. Knees hug in towards the midline, shoulders over hips. Right arm under, give yourself a hug. Tucking the toes behind the calf and sitting down slightly more. Backs of the hands, pressing together. One side might have slightly less balance than the other. If you find yourself losing balance, find a focus point and squeeze your legs together harder. Engage your core more. Tucking your toes all the way around, bringing your palms together, sinking down more if that's available to you. And if you fall out, just come right back in. Inhale, come up, unwind. Exhale, forward fold. Go ahead and widen your feet, passing through a low squat to come down to the mat. Making your way to your back. Knees come with you, hug them into your chest. Rock side to side. Knees come out, hands on your knees, and rock side to side over your sacrum. Hug your right knee in, letting your left knee or left leg extend. Hug your right knee in. Use your left hand, right arm comes out. Guide yourself into a supine twist. You can support your knee with your hand if you need to. You can grab a pillow, grab a block. Keep your left leg active. Your core is active. And just go as far as you can, comfortably allowing the stretch to happen instead of forcing it. You can look up at the ceiling. You can look over at your right hand. And slowing your breath down, letting your stomach expand with each inhale and deflate with each exhale. And inhale, right knee comes in. Hug your left knee in. Straighten the right leg. Right hand guides the left knee over. Left arm straightens out. Find a supine twist on this side. Looking up, looking over. Feel free to stay in these stretching poses longer if you'd like. I'm just not going to make you stay with me and listen to me talk or watch me stretch. But feel free to stay here as long as you'd like. Inhaling, left leg back in, right leg back in, rock back and forth. Soles of your feet come together and allow your feet to come to the mat, knees wide, hands at your hip crease. Press your legs away from your torso, creating some traction on your spine. Exhale, release that. Reclining bound angle, reclining butterfly. You can stay here for as long as you'd like, including skipping the next pose. Work your shoulder blades together underneath you. And really relax into the fact that you are completely laying down, so you don't need to hold any muscular tension. It's amazing how much we'll still have muscles contracted while we are laying down. So if you notice that happening, like maybe you're holding tension in your left hip or your back, your upper back is still working, take a deep breath, and on the exhale, consciously relax that area. And then on your next exhale, you can either choose to stay like this if you're comfortable. Maybe you have a block or some pillows underneath your knees. Or you can extend your legs to the corners of the mat. Hands can come by your side. For corpse pose, Savasana. It's usually the last pose in yoga flow. And then just spend some time here, focusing on your breath. Maybe it's 5 breaths you stay here, maybe it's 5 minutes. Just working to consciously release any tension you're still holding. And then when you're ready on an exhale, roll over to one side, pushing up through the fetal pose into a seated position. Thank you so much for practicing with me. I hope you enjoyed this series, and I will see you on the mat next time.